So first, man, I want to talk about your style. You know, your dress and everything like that. For one, in the Welcome Back video, you had like a pair of Air Force Ones that was done up. Like, you know, where'd you get them done at? And you know, was it your concept?
Nah, my boy Groovy Lou, he been styling me since '96, and you know, he went out and said, yo, these Nikes would be hot if I color them up like the Babe and Apes and just let Mase rock them. So that's how that started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you attribute, because I'm sure you either give the yay or nay to what you wear and whatnot. Yeah. Like, where did you attribute your style for flair? I mean, your flair for style, right?
Yeah. Well, my flavor of style comes from Harlem, the place that I was raised. And now that I live in Atlanta, it's like my style is like a mixture now. I have more of my edginess come from Atlanta because, you know, they're real aggressive and they're real, you know, throwing bowls and jumping and, you know, shouting and all that. But, you know, being from Harlem, I developed like a little cool personality, pretty boy, a little clean cut. So then when you mix them two together, you got Mase.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, we have a section on our site called On the Corner of 106 and Park, where we just throw out some questions, you know, get your personality thing.
All right.
So, if there was a book that you could say that defines your life, that you read or you kind of base your life around, what would you say? Which book?
The Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that?
Because most of, and I wouldn't say just most of, you know, like everything that I'm about, it stems from that.
Okay. All right. Now, if you had the ability to bring back the deceased, anybody, who would you bring back first?
The first person, Biggy.
How come? Explain.
I just believe like both Biggie and Tupac, and you know, as I'm stumbling over my words, those are like real important things to me. I felt like they have so much life to live, that and so many things, greater things to achieve, that I would never achieve because of ignorance.
No doubt, for real.
And that's kind of why I have the approach that I have. You know, I think a lot of people, until you really seen somebody laying down in blood and seeing them urine on themselves and defecating on themselves, then you really don't really know what that gangster talk is about. And in knowing that ain't something to glorify, at least not in my eyes.
So do you believe that, well, obviously you believe there's a big misconception as far as people, like, you know, is there something, like, in addition to that a lot of people have the wrong idea about when they get in the studio and spit a bunch of gangster stuff? And
I think what the biggest misconceptions that artists have is they don't think about when they get in a booth that millions of people are going to live what I'm saying, even though I don't really mean this the way I'm saying it. And then there's some people that mean it the way they're saying it, but they don't really know the results. Like the guy in Oklahoma, he doesn't know that you're doing this for sales. He actually think this is really who you are, and therefore he try to live his way life like this, and he ended up in jail for 20 years, and he didn't make $1 million from it.
Very true.
And somebody lost their son behind just words that was spoken, that was received. You know.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Now, what's one thing that you feel the world can do without?
One thing I think the world can do without is hate. And I say that because, like, being in the South, and you know, I'm Harlem. I'm Harlem zone. You know what I'm saying? That's my barrel. However, living in Atlanta, you experience a different hospitality, a different love. It's, you know, people go down the street and say, hello, how you doing? You know, in New York, you shook somebody's hand in Times Square and say, how you doing? I said, what? Do I know you? It's like a whole different atmosphere, you know?
Okay.
So, and that's something we can do without.
No doubt. What would you say is your favorite possession?
My favorite possession is God. That's my favorite possession. I mean, because anything else you can take from me, you could take, and I'm not like a super religious dude, but you asking me a question, and I'm just answering your question. And I can talk about other things other than God, but you asked me the question. You said, what is my most favorite possession? And I would say God, because if you took the jewelry away from me, the cars, the education, everything, if I had God, I can get it all back.
Okay. Now, what was the first album that you bought with your own money?
The first album I bought with my own money, I think it was Raekwon Cuban, only built for Cuban links. You remember that?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a classic,
was killing
man.
that one.
Word.
Yeah.
So, like, was it everything that it lived up to when you bought it and took it home and listened to it?
Yeah. I think that's one of the best albums ever. Like when you stack song for song up, I think that was one of the best albums of our time.
Okay.
Like, in no disrespect to Pac and Biggie and Jigga and 50, that was one of the most incredible albums. Yeah. You remember that?
Of course.
Come on.
Of course, man. I gotta
We played that song. We played, and that was one of them albums. You just play it. You don't skip nothing. Just let it play.
What was your favorite joint off there?
Oh man, I had so many. You know, that was Raekwon now. You know what I'm saying?
All right, I got a couple questions for BET Radio.
Yeah.
Now, the first one is, could you talk a little bit about the Welcome Back album? And, you know, what's the whole premise?
What you mean by premise?
Like, what's the album about? What's the message that you're putting across with this album?
Do you ask every artist the message they're getting across? You know? All right, I had to make sure.
It's not a trick question.
You know, I mean, the whole idea of Welcome Back is simply the song Welcome Back. Let me start with that. The song Welcome Back was a setup single. It wasn't like my first strong single. You know, Welcome Back was more so like to set you up, that every time you see me, you would say welcome back. It was to build a cliche in your mind. So every time people see me, what do they say? Welcome back. It was a way to nip the hate in the bud from the beginning. That's all Welcome Back was supposed to do. And it did exactly what I wanted it to do, and make everybody, when they see me, say, welcome back. I go in the Trump, they say, welcome back. I go in BET, they say, welcome back. I go in the Diamond District, they say, welcome back. So that song has done its job. Even if I went in the hospital to go pray for some people, they would say, welcome back. So it did exactly what we wanted it to do. Now, Breathe, Stretch, Shake, on the other hand, that's more like a Mase song. You know what I'm saying? So it was the perfect setup, the perfect strategy. You never throw your hottest record out first. You build a heat so you can do consistent numbers and make your numbers go higher instead of going lower. So the whole purpose of Welcome Back, it was a strategic plan. You know, even in the music, it's like each song sets up the next one until before you know it, you won't have the whole message until you hear the whole thing. You know, like you couldn't judge my whole approach off one record. You would have to hear the whole thing, like from start to finish. Every song bring you deeper and deeper into what it's about, and then you're like, wow, that was how he put that together, clever. But it wasn't me, it was God. You know?
Well, it's Bug, you say that, 'cause I was just about to ask you, like, you know, did you acquire that acumen through experience, or was it something you just thought of?
Yeah, I've always thought about you all. The greatest speakers have to know how to bait their audience in. So each song I give you just baits you in for the next one. And every verse baits you in for the second one. So I've always even wrote raps that way, that the ending will make you want to hear the next verse. Like, do you think he snaked me because he hate me, or he got his PhD, play his degree? You want to hear what he going to say next, because each time he's going to come on, I major in a great intro and a great outro. I mean, that's what I do well, you know. And then in between, I just give you who I am, and then I give you a great outro and a great intro. All Mase beginnings in songs have been classic. Hum all you want to, you know. Broken glass everywhere. Who's hot? Who's not? Tell me who rock. It's always been a great intro and a great outro. That's what made the music good.
Yeah, it's good to hear that you're an artist serious about your craft, that you think that deeply about it. That's
you don't just put something stupid out, the doorknob, twist it like a doorknob. And come on, man, make a real song, y'all. Make real songs. That's what really got me. I mean, one of the things that got me upset about hip hop, they're not even making real music no more. It's like anything, as long as the beat jumps and bump. I mean, anything. Slap him in his head. Slap him. Make a song, y'all. Come on, y'all. Make a song. But you can't expect people to make songs that are only in it for the money, man. You can hear in a dude's music if he's serious about music. Like, you take a dude like Nelly, he's serious about his music. You can hear it. It's so many elements to that song, My Place.
Okay. Now, you talk about Nelly. What was it like working with him?
I mean, working with Nelly was like working with me. And when I say that, I don't mean that like, you know, like he's me or, you know what I'm saying, or I made him or he made me. I'm just saying, like, when you work with somebody whose creativity is there, like, I was working with Nelly, and I mean, he can just hit a beat. And he like, yo, I'm going to put this hook right here, and I'm going to do this right here. And he just coming up with different flows. I'm like, yo, this dude really understands music. He's not just saying anything on the beat. And I really admire that about him, and that was refreshing to know. Because I had never met him. I didn't know what to expect from him. All I knew was that he sold a lot of records. But, you know, selling a lot of records doesn't always mean you're a great artist.
Now, here's my last question for you. How does your congregation feel about you making the transition back into rap?
Key word in that question was, how does your congregation feel about you coming back? Anything, the congregation is supposed to follow their leader.
No doubt.
So there's no way you can tell if you're a leader until people follow you. So if I'm truly their leader, it wouldn't matter what I did, they was going to follow.
Okay. Now, can I get you to do a quick drop for BET Radio?
Good answers, right?
That was a good answer. That was a good answer.
Oh.